Should we tell them how we got engaged?
Sure.
We get this comment, it's not even a question, a lot. And so I feel like I need to address it. We could do a live stream like this fall and literally just set up the tripod. Really thrive. They have spread everywhere in our garden. Hey guys, how's it going? We're back for another Q&A. And he is joining us yet again for our Q&A. So last week we had our Q&A, which was fans instead of more chandeliers, how I lost my wedding ring, and then we had done garden blooms and lots of fun shopping. The scabiosa are in trimming the willow. The jumping worms are taking over. Too hot to garden, so I bought tomato and basil, and then we removed the espalier and a whole bunch of other plants in the garden. So overall, it wasn't like a super eventful week in the garden, but we got a lot done.
There's a lot of maintenance work.
There's a lot of maintenance work in the garden, yeah. But it was a good week in the garden. And then this coming week is also, I feel like, going to be a lot of maintenance. Nothing major happening. We did order some stuff for the jumping worms, and we are seeing some really good results with it. It's the tea seed meal, and we've had so many of you guys who have emailed and messaged and commented about using tea seed meal, and it's been working amazing. It is getting rid of the jumping worms, which is really nice. You guys will see that, I believe, on Thursday or Friday of this week. All of our videos, in case you don't know this, are filmed about a week in advance. It's the only way that we're able to edit 5 garden videos plus a Q&A, so 6 videos a week, and be able to have a day off here and there. So all of our videos usually happen about a week ago from when you guys see it. And then as far as any announcements, we are getting ready to film a video with BC Greenhouse. I had asked them if they wanted to do a question and answer thing. So if you guys have any questions at all regarding my greenhouse or any other greenhouse or anything greenhouse related, like foundation wise, anything cost of things, upgrades, why we chose what we chose, leave them in the comments down below. I'm going to pull as many as we can, and we're going to film a video and kind of just go over everything, go over some more cost-effective options. There was a different greenhouse that, before I was even talking to BC Greenhouse, that I had almost bought myself. And it's like the cutest little greenhouse, and I wanted to buy it. I'll talk about it in that video. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about greenhouse-related questions, drop them in this video down below, and we will pull as many as we can for when we shoot a video with them. We did move the camera today, so that way you guys can see as much of the Hummingbird Feeder as possible for this video. That's kind of been one of the biggest requests. This should start to take off, hopefully. Hopefully you guys see a decent amount. It's funny because we've got 2 more Hummingbird Feeders, and that one has 4 of them on there, and then that one all morning that we've been sitting out here has had 4 of them. So there's been 8 hummingbirds just between those 2 Hummingbird Feeders, and this one hasn't been the most active today, which is funny because this one's usually a pretty active Hummingbird Feeder.
I filled it at, 9:30, 10 o'clock last night, because it was almost empty, so it'd be full for the morning. Came out here this morning, completely empty.
Yeah.
So someone's been busy.
A lot of them have been busy. And then we will put a link to the Hummingbird Feeder that we use. We only use one style of Hummingbird Feeder. We've tried a whole bunch of different shapes, colors, sizes, and they never go for it. This one is by Perky Pets, I believe is what it is. And it's the only one that they eat out of. So let's jump into it.
And our first video for the week was the fans instead of more chandeliers and how I lost my wedding ring. First question was from Fabric and Flowers, and she asked, I'm loving seeing Brent. Have you thought about getting your ring tattooed? I did years ago and hardly ever wear my ring now. Plus my hands are too fat to wear it anyways.
I have not thought about it. It was never a thought that came into my mind. I never wanted to get a ring tattooed, which is funny because I have a finger tattoo and a hand tattoo and all these things. But I have always really liked a really shiny wedding ring. And so for years now, I've had just this black wedding ring. And now I'm looking at getting the wedding ring that I wanted. Should we tell them how we got engaged?
Sure.
So, funny story. I am not so subtle at things at all. And so for months, I was cutting up wedding ring magazines, and I was taping the wedding rings that I liked to our bathroom vanity mirror. And he wasn't getting the hint. And so Brent doesn't get a hint very easily. It could be literally taped to a mirror in front of him and he still doesn't get it. And so I decided one day, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. So I had gone with one of my friends and I bought a ring. And it wasn't the ring that I like truly wanted, but I was like, you know what? It's pretty. It's cool. I like it. I'm not mad at it. It was a morganite ring with like some diamonds on the side. And what I've always wanted from the very beginning was a eternity band of diamonds, and I've always loved emerald cut diamonds, and so I want like an eternity band of emerald cut diamonds, which is diamonds all the way around. I fell in love with it from Tiffany & Co. That's been my dream ring that I've always wanted, was something like that. And well, I went with my friend, bought the wedding ring, and I tossed it at Brent. I said, "You got 24 hours or I'm out." And then he took me up to this like hill, and we watched the sunset, and he got down on one knee and he proposed, and I said, "Oh, where is this coming from?"
Such a surprise.
And then we went and got burritos. And that's how we got engaged. Yeah, so I would really like to get the ring that I've always wanted now. But I need to... I mean, it was not planned to lose my wedding ring, and so like there was not a budget to buy a new wedding ring.
Yeah.
But I would like to, within the next year, get a proper diamond, or even like a lab-grown diamond ring. So no tattoo.
And the next question is from Lynette. It says, question, I bought the Kraton barrel fountain that you have behind you. Do you leave it running 24/7? Just curious. Great job, guys. Enjoying the new channel.
Do we leave it running 24/7?
No.
We do not. We have this hooked up to this, and our patio lights that we have out here and the fan that we have out here are hooked up to a light switch. So when we come out, we flip the switch and everything comes on. When we go inside, we flip the switch and everything comes off. Yeah. So it's only on when we are outside.
Yeah, only when we're out here. So
not even when we're outside, when we're just sitting right here is when it's on. So it is on quite often though, because I mean we are outside.
Yeah, we spend a tremendous amount of time out here, including nights and evenings, because that's by the lights. And all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably a couple hours a day though. It's on.
Okay, and then last question from this video is from Tanya. Yo, what is true up in the context that Robbie was using?
So last week we had talked about our solar bill. And we talked to, like, somebody had asked, you know, is solar worth it? And for us, yes, it is totally worth it. So at the end of the year, you get a true up bill, and your true up is how much you still owe the electric company. So we use PG&E is who our electric company is. And so we don't have enough solar panels to cover all the electricity that we use in the year. So instead of paying monthly, because during the summer months you'll produce a ton of solar electricity, and then in the winter months you won't produce much at all. And so they can't make you pay per month, because during the summer months you might overproduce and then they owe you money, where then in the winter months you might not produce any at all. And so then at the end of the year you get hit with a bill where you owe whatever you owe, and usually our bill's about $2,000. I think our lowest was like $1,500 or something like that. So we have a $2,000 a month, or $2,000. We have a $2,000 year ballpark true up, and then we pay like $150 for our solar. What do we pay?
Less than that. I think it's
140.
140, yeah.
We pay like $140 for solar, and then we take $2,000, we divide that by 12, and so I mean, we only pay a couple $100s a month for our electricity in our house, and our house is always really cold. And we have an all-electric house. Everything is electric,
yeah.
And we are home 24/7.
Yeah.
So we use a lot of electricity. And then we were talking to a couple neighbors, and one of them told us that like she has a $500 a month just electric bill, and then another one told us that she has a $700 a month electric bill. So for us, it's definitely worth it, even with getting hit at the end of the year with a $2,000 bill. You just have to budget during the rest of the year for it.
Yeah. If we didn't have solar, our bill would easily be
$1,000
$1,000 a month. It wouldn't even make sense.
Solar is definitely worth it for us.
And the next video for last week was gardens blooming and lots of fun shopping. Okay, and the first question from that video is from Kay Clancy, and they asked, is the second rose soul sister? I didn't hear you give its name. It's beautiful.
The second rose is Silver Lining, and I cannot believe I forgot to say what it was. Silver Lining is one of my like favorite roses that we bought. Soul Sister is an amazing one. It's got aphids on it right now. I don't think I told you that. No. Soul Sister is an amazing one though, but Silver Lining is a really beautiful beautiful rose, and I'm happy to have it in a standard form.
It's always performing.
It's always performing for sure. Actually, you know which one is always performing is the, what is that one right there?
Was the Itsy Bitsy?
Itsy Bitsy.
Oh, the Itsy Bitsy's amazing.
The Itsy Bitsy one is always covered in blooms. There's not like, it has not stopped blooming, which has been really, really nice to see in the garden.
Yeah, they're smaller blooms, but there are 3 times or 4 times as many of them.
Yeah.
And at any one time, there's always several dozen of them that look really nice.
And even when it starts to like fade out, like right now it's on a fade out, I can already see buds happening. And so give it 2 or 3 more weeks and all of a sudden it'll explode with color again.
Right. And the next question from that video is from Quilting Flowers. She said, fall is totally magical. Unfortunately, we, Zone 9B, Texas Gulf Coast, don't get much here. Question regarding the roses. What do you feed them and how often?
I feed my roses any type of road fertilizer. Any type of rose fertilizer, like specifically formulated for roses. So the EB Stone one or the Epsoma one, whatever I can find locally, I will grab for roses. And then I usually feed them 3 to 4 times a year. I like to do it 4 times if I can, but it's usually 3.
And occasionally if we have a struggling rose, like we have a Desdemona in the driveway, and it gets a lot of heat, and its life is pretty rough out there, but maybe it's happy. But I give it extra weekly fertilizer too.
And we don't do that for any other rose.
No, that's the
just
only
that one.
But
that one's in a container too.
Yeah, that one's in a container too. But we were having trouble getting it to bloom. And between the feeding the rose and then giving it fertilizer,
it's perked up a ton.
It looks beautiful and it smells amazing.
Yeah, Desdemona's a really good smelling rose. Hold on, I'm gonna grab the umbrella, I'm cooking.
Okay, yeah. Especially in your pants. I've been wearing pants a lot lately.
I'm just ready for fall.
And the last question from that video is from Beth. And she had asked, would the tree ring bench work around your willow?
You're getting attacked by a fly. No, it would not work around our willow tree. It would not work around our willow tree because our willow tree has the raised bed around it and there would be no way to get to that. So we really don't have a tree that would work on. It would be a really fun thing to have. I feel like that's very like English and cottagey and very, very sweet. But I don't just have an area that we just have a tree like in a walkway or near a walkway.
I loved it when I saw it, but I
was very
couldn't
sweet.
think of a use for it.
No. So unfortunately, no.
And the next video from last week was the Scabiosa are in and trimming the willow. And the first question was from Sue. She said, I have a quick question. Does the metal edging get hot in the sun? I meant too hot for plants to be up against it. I also want to thank you so much for the columbine seeds. Better late than never.
So the metal edging, it gets hot in the sun, like some areas definitely get hot in the sun, but we have plants that are growing right over it.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be stopped by it at all. I have noticed like some of it that's like more exposed, like the really tall metal edging. In days when it's like 105, which we've actually had very few of those this year, we have a couple coming up. If you put your hand on it, it's definitely hot, but all of our plants seem to be totally fine with it. It's not like, I mean, if we hit 115 like we have in the past, it would definitely like be really, really hot to the touch. It's metal. Of course, it's going to be hot to the touch. But at like 106, it's not unbearable. It's just, it's really warm.
In reality, if the plant is hanging over the edge of the metal edging, it's blocking.
Shading it.
It's shaded from the metal edging is now shaded from the sun, so it's not really. There's some radiant heat going into it, but it's not that bad.
And our short metal edging that we have for all of our walkways, no not at all.
Yeah, even the grass, the green grass grows right up against it.
Right up against it. Yeah.
There's no browning or anything.
So I would say no. It's not something I'm worried about at all.
And the next question was from Laura. It said, "Hi Robbie, have you ever considered doing a live stream in your garden? The shot of the hummingbird was so relaxing. Live stream would be fun. The problem is our internet is terrible here. We don't have any equipment to do it.
We have thought about doing a live stream. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on it. So I've done live videos before. Usually I've got like Jalen with me or something like that, and we do something, or like we've done where we've made her prom flowers, or we did like a Halloween project one time. I felt like I always had to be doing something, but I think it'd be kind of fun to just like set up the camera one day and live stream. I don't know. The issue is with filming videos, I can edit out anything that I don't want you guys to see. Like sometimes my shirt rides up, or sometimes I say a swear word. With live streaming, you can't edit any of those things out. And so I would have to be a little more like, I don't know, brain forward of those things.
Cognizant of it.
Yeah, but we've talked about like, we could set up a camera and I could set one up so it's like the tripod is set up so you guys can watch the hummingbirds and see me in the background working or whatever, or I just kind of take you guys along with us for the day. And I probably wouldn't like interact too much with it because I would be doing other things, and I could take you guys along where like, okay, I'm setting up the camera to get the shot of videos or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if that's something that you guys want to see. I could do a full day of live stream getting a video done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought of putting a tripod out there and just do the entire garden. An overview. There would probably be very little audio other than just the hummingbirds and little buggers. But yeah, that's but yeah, that way you could see everything all day. It's probably not real exciting.
It's probably not super exciting, but it would be kind of relaxing.
It'd be relaxing,
especially if we could get it so like the hummingbird feeder is kind of in frame.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Could hook something up right over there too.
Yeah. I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think.
Okay, and the last question from that video is from Bebopalula. And they had said, I haven't heard any wind chimes in your videos. Do you have any in your garden?
We do have a wind chime. My grandmother actually bought us a wind chime. It's a really, really big wind chime. We had it in a privet tree that we had removed. And that was kind of one of the only trees that could really hold it. I still don't know. I mean, it could fit in our privet tree that's right here.
Yeah. It wouldn't go in the willow?
I wouldn't want to add extra weight to the willow.
Yeah, it's a big wind chime.
It's a big wind chime.
We have a couple little ones too, but
we have a couple little ones. It is also hard with like filming videos, having sounds in the video. When we speed things up or when we chop videos up, all of a sudden it like chops in between a sound and it makes it kind of like
weird.
It makes it kind of weird. So we have to be very like audio conscious about filming videos. Like if a train rolls by, we usually stop. Or if like there's police cars going by, we usually stop. Or if there's somebody speeding, we usually stop. Or whatever, if there's weird noises going on, we usually stop because it makes weird sounds in the video. Whereas the wind chime, we've had a couple times where we've had to take the wind chime down while filming because it was just like ding, 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 ding. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is going to drive people mad. So we've had to take it down before in videos, and then we put it back up because we enjoyed it. It was fun, but
I loved it. But we had to put it on a pulley system so we could get it down quickly.
Yeah.
When it got out of control.
Yeah. I don't know. We could put it back up.
Yeah. And the next video from last week was the jumping worms are taking over. It's so bad. And the first question was from Carolyn. She asked, how do you know the difference between jumping worms and good earthworms?
Jumping worms literally jump. And they don't jump the entire time they're out of the ground. I got some pretty good footage this coming week. You guys will see it. I think it's Thursday or Friday. But we have a really good solution now for the jumping worms. It's not a one-time fix for them, but with the jumping worms, like earthworms, you pull them out and they kind of squirm around and they move or whatever. Jumping worms literally flail their body. They literally start like squirming like crazy. And then not only that, they're more iridescent. Earthworms are usually like a solid brown color. Jumping worms kind of have like a metallic color to them. They're iridescent, and you'll honestly, you'll know if you have jumping worms if you pull a worm out of the ground and it starts like flailing, and it like kind of looks like it's like going into like a ribbon almost, like it like makes like an O shape with its body. It like does this and then it like unflails from that and to like fling itself to try to get away from that. And then usually what'll happen is after a couple seconds it dies down and it like stops flailing. So it only flails for a couple seconds when you first pull them out of the ground. And so if you see that, that's a jumping worm. That's the biggest like tell that you have them, or the super iridescent body. They can also be like a gray color.
Yeah, I notice a lot of that are gray.
Yeah.
The next question was from Deb. Said, maybe I'm missing something. Why can't you just remove the top 3 inches of soil and attempt to get them all? It's a small area. So far, it hasn't spread.
They have spread. We have them absolutely everywhere in our garden. If it was just one area, I mean, I guess you could do that, but I also don't want to dig. I mean, how wide is that area?
So that's 3 feet by 30
No,
feet?
like that whole side area.
Oh, that whole side area is 15 feet by 30 feet.
I don't really want to dig down 3 inches, 15 by 30.
Yeah.
That's a lot of soil to remove. What am I going to do with all that soil? They have spread everywhere in our garden. We've been testing this week. We're using tea seed meal, and it's working really, really well so far. We'll have to, I mean, I'll give you guys updates as it goes. They are in our front lawn, they're in our back lawn, they're in our side flower beds, they're in the side yard. They're absolutely everywhere. By the time you really notice that you have an actual problem with jumping worms, by the time you find, 2 or 3 of them, you've got more than 2 or 3 of them. We have thousands of them right now. And honestly, like a year ago, we were only finding a couple of them. Mm-hmm. And when you first find them, you're like, I don't know, I can't tell, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. And they just grow so fast. The other issue is, like, in the rest of the United States, it gets so cold that the worms die in the winter months because they reside in the first 3 inches of soil. The eggs and the cocoons don't die off in the winter time in colder climates. We don't get cold here. We had one day that hit 32 degrees, so the worms don't die off here. So they can lay eggs year round here. So they just really, really thrive.
There you go. Oh, standing on the...
Sorry, the umbrella fell over. Anyway, so the worms really just thrive here because they can lay eggs year round. So that's the other issue, is where, like, my friend Erin from The Impatient Gardener, her and I, we've been chatting about this because she's also dealing with jumping worms. Her worms at least die off in the winter time. And then she just deals with new jumping worms every single year that come back. She can't use tea seed meal. Her and I have already been talking about this because she lives near Lake Michigan and her water reservoir runs off into Lake Michigan, and you can't use this if that's the case. So she unfortunately has to find a different route that's not the route that I'm going, which is a huge bummer for her. Tea seed meal doesn't kill the cocoons, the eggs. Winter doesn't kill the cocoons or the eggs. The eggs are basically indestructible, and you can't see the eggs with your eye. They're the size of a grain of pepper. And they're brown. They're invisible basically to the human eye. So we are getting control though, it feels like a huge victory.
Mm-hmm. It's moving the right direction.
It's moving in the right direction. Yeah. And I'm sure I'm gonna get somebody who's like, why can't you use them for fishing bait? Because that's like been the biggest question. I get that every time I talk about these jumping worms. Please don't use them for fishing bait. They're an invasive species. If you go use them in the lake or the river and it gets off your hook, congratulations, you just released an invasive species into that area. I don't give plants away anymore because the plant could have a worm in it, it could have eggs in it, and then I've released eggs into somebody else's garden. I'm just trying to do what's responsible, and yes, I am killing worms, and it is unfortunate, and I'm sure that's going to make somebody mad because they're a living creature, and it doesn't make me feel good to have to kill a living creature, but also, at the end of the day, these jumping worms are going to kill everything in my garden, and they're also going to kill the good worms that we do want in the garden.
Yeah, ultimately, they'll be gone too.
Yeah.
And the last question for this video is from Patricia, and she had asked, Robbie, in the future, will you treat all potted plants with worm killer before you plant in the garden?
I never even thought about that.
That's a good idea.
So yes, we will be doing that from now on. I probably won't do it on camera every single time.
Right.
But yeah, when we get shipments of plants in coming from like Michigan or Oregon, or when we go to Home Depot or things like that,
yeah, it's a great idea.
We'll just douse it in. Might as well. Better to be safe than sorry. And plus, the stuff that we're using is actually a fertilizer, so works out perfectly.
And the next video from last week was too hot in the garden, so I bought a tomato and basil. And the first question was from Michelle. She had asked, Robbie, does that area behind the greenhouse get good sun? You might consider making that area your veggie cut flower garden. That way, if it doesn't look perfect, no big deal. The greenhouse is the star of the background.
I wish I got more sun because I would love for that to be where we did veggies and cut flowers. It's mostly shade. There's like a pocket of sun, and that's about it. I would like to grow hydrangeas back there. I'd like to grow ferns back there. It's going to be a little secret shade garden, and that's all we can do, which will be nice. I mean, I'm never mad at a shade garden. I love ferns. I love things like that. I love hydrangeas. So it will be good. I do wish, though, that it had enough sun that I could grow the like tomatoes and basil, and I could have a veggie garden back there, because that would be really, really nice. But I have decided what I am going to do this next year is I'm going to incorporate vegetables into the landscape. I don't want anywhere in our garden, nowhere would work, to have a set vegetable garden. I mean, and I don't find them to be aesthetically pleasing. And I want to go with that like Beatrix Potter vibe in our garden. And I think having a tomato plant in the landscape, or having a couple heads of lettuce, or having a bush bean, or things like that just randomly tucked in, will be more aesthetically pleasing, for me at least.
The next question was from JL, and they had said, wait, LOL. Hi, Robbie. Meant to say that tomatoes grow well with basil. Brian with Next Level Gardening has awesome videos about companion planting. Please visit this channel for tips on growing food you love. These would be great in pots. Have you considered investing in a green stock planter? They might even sponsor or provide for free. They have beautiful colors and patterns. This can be placed in the secret garden or anywhere actually on the property. I've always wanted one, but out of my price range, currently waiting for 75% off sale.
That's cute. It was like a big question that I kept getting over and over and over again, like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, when everybody was buying them and everybody had them in their garden. For me, I just don't love the aesthetic of them. I like the look of terracotta. I don't like the look of like plastic containers in the garden. I don't love the look of the green stalks. They're not for me. But like, I mean, there's a lot of things that like I see everybody and their mother using, and it's just not my vibe, which is kind of a bummer, because it would be really convenient and really easy to use those things.
They seem to work really well.
They seem to work really well. And most of these brands have reached out and like, hey, and I'm like, no, it's not for me. Like the green stock would be nice, because I know it's got like the auto refill thing in it, and it's got like a water reservoir in it, and like in theory it's great, but I don't love the look of them. So we would pass on that.
And the last question is from Betty Boop, and she had asked, aren't you worried about bringing more jumping worms to your garden from off brands at Home Depot? I love Roma tomatoes, the best kind for making bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches, in my opinion. I agree the Romas have substance to them.
I just love a good Roma tomato.
Yeah.
They're like my favorite ones, which is so funny because they're like so basic, but they're just, for me, they're my favorites. And then as far as bringing in jumping worms from off-brand plants, I'm not worried about it. I think it just kind of happened. I mean, I can't even guarantee that that's how it happened. So like, I'm not dogging on the plants at Home Depot. I'm still going to buy them. I'm still going to buy the off-brand plants at Lowe's. I'm still going to go to local nurseries and buy the plants that don't have a name on them. It could even happen from a Proven Winners can. It could happen from a Monrovia can. It could happen from a Bailey's can. It could happen from anybody at the end of the day. So I don't think that just because it was an off-brand creeping fig, that's why I got jumping worms. I think it was just a accident the way it happened. I don't think it was like anything malicious or anything like that. I think it just was unfortunate.
Yeah, in reality, any can that sits on the ground at any point in time is subject to getting jumping worms in it if that ground has jumping worms.
Exactly.
You set a container on the ground in the grass right now, and
yeah. Well, and like I've gone to other I've toured a whole bunch of growing facilities, and those growing facilities don't just typically grow just their plants. I was up at Bailey's. They were growing Proven Winners plants, and they were also growing no-name brand plants. I've gone down to Monrovia, and they were growing all Monrovia plants, and then they've grown other plants also. So it's not like these companies just grow just their plants. So I mean, and like Proven Winners, they're not just grown at just one facility. Like their annuals, they're grown in a whole bunch of different places in the United States, and so any one of those places could have jumping worms or whatever it might be. So I don't want that to deter anybody from buying an off-brand plant, because that's where I think I may have gotten jumping worms from. It really could happen to any can. And for all I know, it could have happened. They could have came from a Monrovia can. They could have came from a Proven Winners can. They could have came from
Could be anything.
a bag of soil. It's hard though, because I mean, like, we're gonna start pouring the tea seed meal into the cans, and that'll like bring them to the surface if there's any. So we'll let you guys know, what we see. I'm all about transparency, and I'm not afraid to let you know which companies.
If there's a problem.
If there is a problem, I will also, if I see a problem, I will be letting companies know. But I also can't be like, oh yeah, we 100% got it from the creeping fig that I bought at Home Depot. That was in a no can name. That is just where we really noticed it first. It was also weird that we did see it in a container.
And the last video was we removed the espalier and a whole lot more. And the first question was from Suzanne. Said, hey Robbie, I agree you've planned this, but you haven't finished the greenhouse you're working on. The side yard and ripping plants out now. This, all a lot at once. I was getting excited to see the garden finished for the season and watch the greenhouse evolve and the secret garden, or almost anyway. You exert so much energy not finishing your projects before starting another. Okay. I know, not my business, and I'm being such a mom. I see all the hard work you put in and disappointment every time you're taking stuff out. You left me 3 projects ago that aren't done, and that's not about me either. I think you just can't rest if you aren't really busy. You'll outgrow that when you reach my age. You and Brent do good work. I'm sure it will be beautiful one day again. Peace and best wishes, always.
I mean, I can put my Venmo up on the screen if you want to pay for me to finish the projects. Okay, so I pulled this in because we get this comment, it's not even a question, a lot. And so I feel like I need to address it because these comments really do actually annoy me a lot. These projects cost thousands of dollars to do. The greenhouse was not a project that we planned for years to do. It was something that wiped out our entire savings account. It took out every dollar that we had to build this greenhouse. And so there is not thousands of dollars left to furnish the greenhouse. The chairs that I want to buy for the greenhouse, for 2 of them, is over $500. To put a sink and a countertop in the greenhouse is probably going to be $700-800 for a countertop. And we're going to do like probably a wood countertop. And like we're going to build like a wood frame for it because we were looking at other things, and it was going to be a couple $1,000. And a sink alone for the greenhouse is like $250 just for the sink. That doesn't include the plumbing to get it to go to the drain pipe, or the spigot that we would need, or the faucet, or whatever it is that we need. So like,
but anyway, projects take time. They take time and they take money.
So if you want me to finish a project, feel free to email me. I will let you have some creative input on the project if you want to pay for it. And the secret garden is not happening this year. I'll just put that out right now. The secret garden, 0% is happening right now. We need to finish the fence. That's going to be a couple $1,000s. And then the irrigation that needs to go in, that's probably going to be another $400 or $500 just in irrigation. And then thousands of dollars in plants. I don't make thousands of dollars on videos. We make maybe a couple $100 on videos sometimes. Like some of our videos make like $100, and some of them do well, and then they'll make a couple $100. So we're not rolling in dough over here. The only reason that we're able to like have this lifestyle is because our bills are really low, and we spend every single dollar that we make on YouTube into YouTube. Sometimes I need to make videos where all I am doing is removing things, and it doesn't cost me anything to make a video. If every video that I did was renting equipment, and every video I did was finishing projects and spending thousands of dollars, we would be in a ridiculous amount of debt. So the greenhouse is not finishing this year. The secret garden is not starting this year. I can do the espalier because the espalier didn't cost me anything to remove, and it's going to cost me $20 in wire to put the wire back up. And then I can slowly buy plants when I choose to buy plants, and I will buy $15 plants, and I can spend $100 or $200 on plants, and that doesn't hurt my bank account. Where spending $500-600 on chairs and spending $1,000 on countertops for the greenhouse does hurt my bank account.
Yeah, the greenhouse was an opportunity that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
And if we didn't take advantage of the opportunity, we would have been silly. It would have been a huge mistake.
We still had to pay for the greenhouse.
Yeah.
We just got a discount on the greenhouse.
So it's still incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. I mean, we had so sometimes it isn't even about money. Sometimes it's about time and energy.
Yeah.
And
I will also say too, like BC Greenhouses told us, like they have never had a project of a greenhouse go this fast.
Yeah.
We are the fastest they have ever had anybody sign a contract, buy a greenhouse, and build a greenhouse. Hands down, ever. It was months, where usually the process with them is years. We've had you guys who have bought BC Greenhouse who have told us, like, it took me 2 years to actually be able to fully purchase the greenhouse. And then it took another 1.5 years to get my greenhouse built. And I've had a couple people who've emailed me and saying, yeah, I'm on year 3 of building my greenhouse because it's just a long process. So it is hard because I know like a lot of people, like, you're not doing the work and you're watching us do this work and you're like, Robbie, why can't you just get it done? We are moving at lightning speed. I need people to remember that in January, this was nothing but dirt back here.
Mm-hmm.
There was no gravel, there was no metal edging, there was no plants, there was no greenhouse, there was nothing.
No power, no water.
No power, no water. There was nothing back here. So please have patience with us. Like, I'm sorry that a couple projects don't get finished or that it takes us like a month to do a project.
Sometimes my back hurts really bad, and that's from weeks and weeks and weeks of 8-10 hour days. Yeah. And I need a break. And so we're going to change the project just so that I can survive it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be out of commission for months.
I mean, right? What you guys can't see is there's a back brace.
Oh yeah, I have a back brace sitting right there. So we push so hard on that greenhouse. We pushed so hard on all these projects this year, which is good and it's exciting and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
please have patience
with us. We
need
breath, and it's also sometimes when you see us doing this, it's California, but it's
11:30 and it's 95 degrees right now.
It's going to be
and it's going to be 108 today.
108 today. So it's going to be toasty. So when we're doing those things and you're seeing it, sometimes it's not a great environment.
Yeah. Comments, I know that like this person didn't have any like ill intent behind it, but these comments really do irk me and they make me want to not do big projects.
Yeah. And some of the things to consider too is we have a life, we're living, and I'm maintaining the cars, I'm doing oil changes and fixing things around here, fixing things that break inside the house.
We're also basically producing a TV show. Tell me how many other garden YouTubers that you guys are watching that are putting out minimum 6 videos a week. We're putting out 6 videos a week, sometimes 7 and occasionally 8. Last month, between shorts and our long form video, I put out 38 videos on YouTube.
Man.
That is more videos than there are days in the month. Please just have grace with us if we don't finish a project. Yeah. We are putting so much content out there. We are putting out more content than a TV show puts out. A TV show, like Monty Don's TV show,
once a week.
He puts out 1 a week, and he has an off season.
And a production team of 40.
We are 2 people producing 38 videos a month, putting them out there for you guys. And we are not making as much as Monty Don makes.
Not even close.
Not even close.
And the next question is from Maureen. And they had said, hi, Robbie and Brent. Quick question. Will you also be removing the espalier in the driveway and replacing it with an ivy? Or do you plan to leave that one as is?
We plan to leave that one as is. I actually show you guys how it looks in our driveway. We've been fertilizing it. You've been fertilizing it now. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be doing much, much better.
It's definitely better.
Yes, we are going to be leaving the one on the driveway. We really like that one. It's the amazing. Arabian Soul.
It's Summer Soul
Arabian Jasmine. Yeah, and it smells really, really good. It's just finally started really blooming for us. We got a couple blooms earlier this year, and then it did not bloom, and now he's fertilizing it, and it's blooming really well for us.
The last question is from Labrador Girl. She said, question, hi Robbie, love your channel, but this question is for your lovely husband. Were you a gardener before, Robbie? And if you could add or take away any plant in the garden, what would it be? Keep up the amazing videos. They've become my morning routine. Most plants, it takes me a while. I don't like change, and we get something a certain way, and I'm happy with it once I get used to it, and then I start to really like it, and I get attached. And so change is the hardest part for me. So I don't like taking things away necessarily. And I don't really, the only thing I don't like in our garden is our privet tree that's behind this camera here, just because it's always doing something terrible to our yard, including dropping limbs and branches down into the driveway. So,
It's coming out. It's going to come out.
yeah,
It's on our list of 2 comes out
yeah.
this fall, maybe,
Yeah, maybe this fall.
maybe like spring, maybe early spring or something like
Yeah.
that. It needs to come out, and it will be coming out. We've talked to the neighbors.
Yeah, that's my only gripe. Everything else I really, really like. As far as structures, I wouldn't mind the shed getting changed or getting enlarged.
Large.
We need more space. We have. Yeah.
So there's nothing that you would take away, any plants in the garden?
Why, are you thinking of something that I?
No. There's nothing that you would take away?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
No, it just takes me a while to get used to things.
He just usually, like,
I resist change.
even when I put in a new plant, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like when I put in new plants. He doesn't like when I take out plants.
I've learned to.
But then after I plant it, he's like, oh, you were right. I like that. Thank you. Or when I take it out, he's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to take it out. And then we take it out and he's like, oh, yeah, that's better.
Resistant to change.
Yeah, it's more that he just doesn't like change at all in the garden. Or inside that, any change at all.
Anywhere, ever.
Yeah. Were you a gardener before we got together?
And no, I was not a gardener. I did all kinds of other work in the backyard and the garden, but never gardening. I had the black thumb of death.
Now you do really well. Except
better.
for when it comes to my seedlings.
Yeah, seedlings I don't do well. They're too fussy.
Hopefully the greenhouse helps change that a little bit, though. And it'll be nice to have them out of the house.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question is from Colleen. It said, how do you dispose of plants you suspect that have worms' eggs?
Anything that we think has worms or eggs, like I will chop off the top. The tops of them are going to go into yard waste bin, and then the bottom of them is going to go into the trash can. Or we will burn it and put it in our fire pit. And I mean, the responsible thing to do would be to put them in a bag, and then we'll put the roots in a bag, and then put those roots in the trash can. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all going to go to the landfill anyways, and it's going to get smushed, and the plastic bag will break up anyways. But that would be the responsible thing to do. At least just not putting it in the yard waste bin. I think that is where we're going to end this video, because we are being attacked by a swarm of flies. We're going to go inside. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to go inside so we're no longer attacked. Thank you guys so much for visiting our garden. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here watching our videos. Thank you so much for commenting, sharing, liking, all of the things you guys do. It really does help us out. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you all in the next one.
Bye, guys.